Broaddus, kind enough to join us for 90 minutes to preview next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Here's the way to do it. 877-881-1053, 877-881-1053 here on Shan RJ and Bobby. Jim in Keller, you are live on The Fan. Go ahead, Jim.
Hey, gentlemen. Hey, this is Jeff from Keller, the Lions fan. Since Bobby owed me last call, I called in. So I'm going to start on strong. And unlike the NFC Championship game, I'll finish strong. Guys, do you think that this draft and a lot of what the Cowboys are doing are based on where somebody is in life? Meaning, why not? Is it because there's one, big push to get another Super Bowl? I mean, there are assets right now and things to do. Why can't you guys get away from the Moneyball routine of make the playoffs every year and lose out and just actually rebuild? When's the last time they rebuilt? Jimmy Johnson drafted Aikman. I mean, you got Micah, you got CD. I mean, Jack Martin's getting old. Brian, what would you actually think about doing a rebuild?
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate the question. To me, I don't think they'll ever have to do a rebuild here.
They will if the quarterback's gone.
Well, they'll figure it out because they'll always draft well. I have confidence in this team. I don't think this team will ever be. This team will only be Jason Garrett bad. 8-8. That front office will not allow that. The one strength that they have is their ability to draft. And so if all of a sudden you give them the opportunity to pick players, they're not going to sign players. But what they'll do is they'll continually draft. They'll sign their own, and they'll figure out the quarterback situation too. Now we'll see. We'll see what the thing with Trey Lance. They had a top of the second round grade on him. Obviously, they thought enough of him. They wouldn't look at him as we're doing something different at quarterback. They think this guy's. I mean, he has a higher grade on their board or had a higher grade than what Dak Prescott's grade was.
Have you heard anything about him and the way he practiced or works or anything about Trey since he's been here?
I did not hear one. I talked to people in San Francisco about him, and they were like, if he did not get hurt, he would have been a starting quarterback. There are people there that believe in that kid. He goes, yeah, did we give up too much for him? Sure. Does it look bad now? Yeah. But the overall, they're like, nah, this kid will be fine. Dallas will never rebuild. They won't. They just will never be bad enough to have a total rebuild because they will find ways to draft.
They do draft well. The question is, like, do they have a quarterback, and have they had a quarterback that can get them over the hump, right? And that's
hump day.
Yeah. And the only time this team has won was with a top of the draft with this regime, which was with taking a quarterback 1-1. And I mean, you could point to Tom Brady, who skews a lot of things.
Sure.
But majority of the quarterbacks that win Super Bowls, multiple at least first round draft picks.
Right.
Not fines in the undrafteds or the third or fourth round.
Trey Lance is as close to a first round quarterback as they've drafted in a
long time.
In a long time. Because you think about where he was selected.
Yeah.
What if he wasn't? I mean, like I said, San Francisco thought that he would still be there if he didn't get hurt. This could be now. The danger you're running into here is that 2 years of development with Trey Lance, and then Mike McCarthy gets fired. Does the next guy want Trey Lance as his quarterback?
Austin in Dallas, you're up next on the home of the Cowboys. Go ahead, Austin.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up?
Hey, so my question is it time to take a different approach in the first round, like taking a quarterback in the first round? It's been a long time. I think it's time to, I've seen enough of Dak Prescott, and people want to talk about the defense. Well, guess what? It's called a shootout, okay? Look at 2013, Tony Romo going toe-to-toe with Peyton Manning, okay? Every once in a while, your quarterback's going to have to win a shootout. And I'm sorry, I'm not paying him $55 to $60 million because he's not that guy. And look, you throw a dart at Trey Lance, you throw a dart at Michael Penix Jr., one of them is going to work out. But let's take a different approach this year because it's the same thing with Dak every year. And he's had more than enough help. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, this could very well be the year that he walks. And so then you're going to get your compensatory 3 and you're going to move on. And then you'll see how it goes.
Jack in Canton. Jack, you are up next on the D&M Leasing Hotline. Go ahead, brother.
Hey, guys. How y'all doing?
All
Good.
right.
Great.
Hey, I'm a Commanders fan.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
And, hey, we all have our faults, right?
I know.
Hey, if you're picking number 2, I heard you talking that
Daniels. Take Daniels.
Was supposed
Yeah.
to be all that.
If I'm a Cowboy fan, I want you to take Drake May. If I'm a Commanders fan, you want to take Daniels. Is who you want.
And Bobby, you believe opposite.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah. Like I'd be thrilled with Daniels going there. And to me, Drake May with Cliff Kingsbury and Brian Johnson and them working with him, I think he'd hit that potential that he has. I think they'd find consistency with him.
Do you agree with Merrill Hodge, who said Drake May can get you fired?
Yes, absolutely.
But is not taking the quarterback also a recipe to get fired if you don't have one?
If you don't have one, yeah.
Yeah, if you don't have, if you're like New England, you have to take it because you don't have one.
The problem for the gentleman that just called as a Commanders fan is that they were a quarterback away, and then their defense became real bad. So to me, I would now I'm starting to worry about their defense. But if they fix the quarterback with the skill that they have, they're going to be a hard team to deal with.
What round do you have May in?
Second.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he is your what ranked quarterback?
Second ranked quarterback. I only have 2 quarterbacks in the first round.
877-881-1053 to hit us up. Bryan Braddus in studio. We also have some text messages on the Franklin Franco Injury Attorney Hotline, which we will run through after Alex and Terrell. Alex, you're next up on Shan and RJ.
Hey, Brian, Shan, RJ, Bobby. So if you had one position that the Cowboys could pick in the first 3 rounds that you would feel good about the draft, which position would it be? Thanks, guys.
Offensive line. Grab me a center.
Yeah.
Grab one of these centers. If somehow that they end up with Powers Johnson from Oregon or the kid at Duke,
Graham Barton.
I'd be super happy with that.
Really?
Yep.
Because when Travis Frederick got drafted, it worked out. We're all like, center? Really? Your first round pick?
Nah, man. Their inability to run the ball had to do with what was going on at center and point of attack blocking tight end is what I felt like.
I think our big problem with Travis, too, is that we had him on the draft show, and he goes, I thought it was going in the 3rd round.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're like, whoa, you just traded up for this guy. I have no problem. Now, I will ask this. Because the Cowboys have 2 all-pro guards, does that make it easier for any center to plug and play? You saw what playing with a less than adequate center does for you. Actually, I follow the ball. I'm just kidding.
No.
Do you feel like, though, that they have put themselves in a position to have to draft need over BPA? What if I told you that? Absolutely they have. But
right? But the thing about it, the need they have, there's legitimately good players at need. Center. I think Bobby and we did a Love of the Star podcast. We gave you about 6 names.
Yeah, we're going to do those at 8:40, actually. Yeah. Those 6 names.
So, yeah, that's to me.
No, we were, if Brian wasn't in here. I thought you gave us all these names yesterday. You ran through a bunch of names.
I threw out the names.
Just repeating segments now?
No, I threw out the names and said we would actually
I listened to the segment.
Yes, thank you. Somebody was listening. He wasn't even here.
Yeah.
Calvin and Prosper. Calvin, you're up next on Shan and RJ. Go ahead.
Hey, guys. I just have a question. Will the analytics department play a bigger role in the drafting this year? And I'll hang up and listen to you guys.
I don't think it will. Not as much as you think.
How would they?
Okay, so
positional value, I would assume.
There are a couple of different ways that. So like the Rams really started leaning on a lot of analytics with their draft, and there are different people who like different organizations have started using analytics more in their analytics team in the draft process. But I think that last year it was way blown out of proportion. Yep. The idea that oh, look at this. They had an analytics department. Yeah. They had several people in there working with it. Tom Robinson was the head of it. They
fired the whole staff.
They fired the whole staff. It wasn't like they created this this discussion on social media that was like, wow, the Cowboys coming into the new age. Great job. They had the department. They had been there for a while. You never heard of the changes. Look, I think John Park, a lot of the people there do really good work. William Britt, Sarah Malipie, they do good work in that department, but it's not like it was new. It's not like those are new positions. They've had analytics contributing to their process for a decade.
Their game, that's the analytics folks are the game management people. Mm-hmm. They're not draft people.
And do you think that McCarthy incorporates them a lot? How analytical would you say Mike is?
Man, that's hard to say. I can't give you a really good answer on that one.
No more than any other coach.
Yeah. I don't think it's like some of these other coaches you deal with, but I think his is probably very small.
Jay in Dallas, you're up next with Bryan Braddus in studio on the morning show. Go ahead, Jay.
Hey, good morning, boys.
What's up?
Bryan, just to circle back on your thoughts addressing center early, don't you feel like there's going to be a tackle there that's probably of more value?
No.
And you could probably,
No.
you don't think you can address
No,
center later?
I don't.
Is that because you'd be getting the best or second best guard center versus the seventh or eighth
I want
best
the
tackle?
first. I want the first or second best center because the further down the board, the closer you're getting to Broaddus. I don't want to go through that again. You know, there's some decent centers in this draft, but I'm not. I'm trying to go and get the best guy right now.
So how do the best centers throw Linderbaum in this class? I know his ass wasn't big enough for the Cowboys, but
Powers Johnson's a better player
You
than
think?
Linderbaum.
I would have Linderbaum number one.
one.
Yeah, I would still.
And you would have
Give me the guy. Give me the guy with power and the ability. The thing with Linderbaum, he's second level player. He could reach, athlete, all that stuff. This guy could do the same thing, but he's 320 pounds.
Let me ask you this.
And he's from
Oregon. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. This is like how you, scouts and front offices would deal with this, because it's not. If you look at if you did the top player at each position on the board versus like the second or third or fourth on the board that are picked later, it's about 50-50 on who comes out to be a better player, right, in their career. How do you wrestle with that?
The thing, the way I would wrestle with it was always try and get the top guy. See, I'm not interested in having the second or third. If it's my turn to pick, and I've stacked my players already through. I've got 215 players I have to stack. I've got to 101 right now, and I'm trying to put those in order of how I would take them. So to me, I'm never thinking about the second or third best player. I'm always thinking about. That's why I want to grab this center. I don't want to sit here and get into the third round and all of a sudden, oh, wow, they're going to take a center here.
If you had a tackle graded above him there at 24, would you take that tackle still, or would you jump the tag because you need the position?
I have more questions about the tackles when Dallas is going to pick than I do the centers.
Ryan and Keller. Ryan, you're up next here on Shan and RJ. Go ahead.
Hey, Bryan. Your last Love of the Star podcast, y'all talked about how much Dallas is going to be putting in on the UDFAs and how much money they're going to spend,
yes.
a couple $100,000 here and there.
Yep.
Should we really be putting a lot of stock into the UDFAs they give a couple $100,000 into based on with meaningful snaps this season?
Yeah, the thing about it to me is that when the one thing that they're going to have to do is they're going to have to fill this depth is what they do, and they have a pretty damn good track record of those guys. And the reason why they have a good track record is those are guys that are 5th, 6th, 7th rounds on their board. Those are the first guys they go after. So they're going after drafted players. And that gives them better opportunity for those guys to play.
And the guy one of the guys you spent undrafted free agent money on last year might be your starting left guard this year in TJ Bass.
TJ Bass, yeah. So that's to me, like you say, that they are good at that, in my opinion.